tsy vaoragna agnarako. Zao Mikea, Mikea pira, Mikea reniko, Mikea babako. Niteraka amin'ala toy ato. Nivelo amin'ala toy. 20 tao aho. Maty babako. La dineko nahafaty amin'ny babako zay. Fa ela. Fa aiko ny taoko hoe zao nanjao fa 400 tao. Nataonay tao reo magnarandreo hoe koiky. Mikoiky io zao raha mifampikaiky lafa andeha magnagnala na ampikoikay andeha ampananatsy androzy agnala agny aho ampananatsy anireo mpamaraky reo ny kolotsainay Mikea zay koiako androzy fa zao isan'ny zoma mampananatsy androzy agny.
This is one of the last old-growth forests in Madagascar's southwest, the Mikea forest. It is named after the nomadic people who've lived here as hunter-gatherers for several centuries. How long exactly? No ethnologist knows. There are few records on the subject. In Madagascar, few people have encountered them. They're rarely in the media, and the state, which hasn't ratified the International Convention on Indigenous Peoples, does not legally recognize them. Yet the rapid destruction of their forest poses a serious threat to their survival. The speciality of Redata, the eldest in the class, is bird shooting. In this dry forest, which grows mainly on sand, there is no river or water source. From a young age, children learn to dig for water-retaining tubers. When it's not raining, it's the only way to stay hydrated. The 1,400 Mikea counted by the authorities have all settled. They have swapped their loincloths for clothes and their blowguns for agriculture or livestock. The younger generation is already used to modern life. But for Tsivaora, forgetting their roots is out of the question.
Favy amizay tsika, dia anao fomban-draza amizay tsika, angataka amin'ny koko tsika, ny koko lampo iaby ka. Angalaka ny tsame atoitsy ao fa agnosoko tsika anao bolo. Dia zay amizay tsika vo mandeha amizay fampianara. Data tsika agnosoko.
One of the Mikea tradition's customs is the kosoa, an ancestral technique for lighting a fire.
Mangataka aminareo koko lampo, lapy hazo, somotsala, bepoakazo. Avy eto koa aho, manday mpamarako madiniky reo anako reo fa ampianatsy androzy ny kolotsainy Mikea. Haiza androzy, tsy alinondrozy io. Satria io Mikea amizao fa mialany, fa miamivitsy, fa tsy hisy. Ireo taranaka ireto koa ampianariko amin'ny ala toy. Resaka amin'ny hazo, resaka velomamponay, na ny fomba fialia babo, na ny fialia balo, iaby, na fomba fagnoaza tantely. Voalohany amizao, ty hazo ino? Katrafay! Katrafay. Ino gn'asan'ty katrafay ty?
Aorin'olo jabele!
Aorin'olo jabele. Aorin'olo manankandra. Aorin'olo marary lambozy zay. Dia manao akory amizay hazo toy? Hoajainareo sa tsy hoajainareo? Satria nagnino.
Satria orinay.
Lafa atao hoe azo tomiry ambony tany toy, ajainareo iaby. Tsy azo tapatapa nao nampitirindra nagnaraka mila ajay. Zay
It's time for a snack break. Each child will have a small portion of the tiny bird Radata just hunted. The Mikea believe in only taking from the forest what is absolutely necessary. The notion of abundance and excess does not exist. Among the students is Mahazaka, Tsivaora's son.
Tumangan Mahazaka mo vuru teo liani kinda fa alai vulu ninga le namanday ki zugenito nangalaga no vulu nini fa iro teo nangumbusa no vulu ninga miake jamzai melu ko zai tangiani tinga mzai fa masa ko vamos aí, vô. Fara bakin tunurare manaka na tono teunge lembe fanai. Lembe fanai. Ima fadivo na madiu manaka na anjo fa maliu le lembe fanai. I mati bulungi la samandiare. Rai Mikea tsy mangoro ala zao. Fa ala tui yung fototsy fiainanay Mikea ngala. Fambolia tsako nandana an'io ala eo. Io na alany an'io ala eo fambolia tsako. Tsako zao tsy misy Mikea nahita tsako hoe aia mo ahitanay tsako. Tsako tsy baka aminay aty Mikea ny misy an tsako fa tsy haiko hoe na baka ia na baka ia. Fa nagnino rey ro asaran'olo azy hoe ireo Mikea reo ny manapaka n'ala eo magnoro azy. Manao tsako ao. Tsy mariny zao.
From the 1980s, a significant demand for corn to feed livestock on Reunion Island has created a surge. People across the region have burned huge parts of the forest and transformed it into farmland. To prevent the forest from disappearing completely, the state marked out a plot of 180,000 hectares and made it into a protected national park in 2011. Farming is now prohibited here, but it continues illegally. For the Mikea, destroying the forest is a sacrilege. According to their beliefs, baobabs shelter their ancestors' spirits. The forest is their granary, their hospital, their place of worship, but also their cemetery, and for children, a natural playground.
La farai baki vinci renge ing fisana ki uzunani mandea kirai uzako urai ki mandea kwa sai fisana Mikea.
Since the creation of the national park, only indigenous populations who live exclusively off the forest can go here. But in reality, the guards do not distinguish between the Mikea and others. They have been gradually driven out and now stay far from the heart of the forest and live in villages where they spend most of their time.
Tianao anjeo iali agny androany de impoly ao nefa renanjao zao mangalatsy aly balo magnagna aly babo mangalatsy mandeha maraigny afy midi tsy manday maro manday 2 3 raha fangalary moa tsy ampy amizao tsy ampy gnanakay matiny mosary ray.
In addition to repression and malnutrition, they are subjected to constant thefts and attacks. Madagascar is plagued with rural crime, to the point of forcing Tsivaora and his community to settle on the coast. In villages like this one, fewer than 10 remain. During their practical classes in the forest, Zafi and Fanjara only found 1 tuber.
Yamzay falatsak vandre fa misy voana amzay asitsy manaka fanovana azy liany asitsy ambany tana karaha Mikea tsara nana valagny zao fa io valagninay bolonany io yanany ko rahay fa manomboko mosare fa satria raha agnala agny fa tsy misy fa tsy ampy ndra biby agnala igny koa fa tsy misy fa satria halegny fa tsy misy aby ndra voro ndra tambotsaky ndra tanjaky laoky nay mbagnale re tsy misy fa satria halegny fa lany.
They'll have to return to the forest to get something to eat tonight.
Je m'appelle Rassaf Ndjakout Emmanuel. Je suis enseignante à l'école Mikea. Je suis mariée à Tivaour. On a 2 enfants ensemble. Un garçon de 7 ans qui s'appelle Mazak et une fille, Louping, qui a 25 jours. C'est l'association Mikea Forest qui m'a proposé le travail. Il n'y avait pas de sens dans ma vie. Je voulais faire quelque chose pour les gens, mais pas pour moi. Je voulais faire quelque chose pour le pays, pour les enfants de ce pays. Pourquoi pas laisser une petite trace dans l'histoire. Les Mikea, en général, ils prennent soin de leurs femmes pendant la grossesse. Surtout en termes de nourriture et de besoins.
Toy aolo ty tambitsika agnarany toy. Toy zao tambitsika toy lafa raha io ro teraky ny valinay, ireto gn'aoly alainay mbagnala egny ketrehinay inominy. Tambitsika toy zao mampagnavy nonony. Toy raiky toy katrafay. Nandroany zao ro tena ataony matetiky, fa toy gny mahajanga fery agnatiny ao olo miteraky ty katrafay ty.
Il y a même un conte qui raconte qu'il y avait une femme enceinte qui voulait les tripes d'un sanglier blanc. Et que l'homme, il partait chercher ce sanglier blanc n'importe où pour que sa femme puisse manger les tripes de ce sanglier blanc. Mais il faut que ce sanglier soit blanc. J'ai entendu parler de la parité, de l'égalité d'un genre et tout ça. Mais ici, chez les Mikea, c'était déjà comme ça. La violence conjugale n'existe pas ici. Ils ont dit que c'est parce qu'ils sortent des femmes. Il faut respecter sa femme comme on respecte sa mère, ils disent.
In addition to her school lessons, Emmanuelle tries using her words to repair their downtrodden community.
Ce sont les gens d'ici, même des ethnies voisins, qui disent que les Mikea sont des sous-hommes, sont des animaux, qui ressemblent à des animaux avec leurs pannes qui ont des queues et qu'ils sont sales, qu'ils puent. J'ai été témoin de tout ça. Non, ils n'ont jamais répondu, mais on sent que ça les touche au plus profond d'eux-mêmes. Ce que je fais avec les enfants et qu'on n'a jamais fait avec eux d'ailleurs, c'est juste dire qu'ils sont merveilleux, tels qu'ils sont. On leur a jamais dit des choses positives, des bonnes choses comme ça.
Trying to rediscover the meaning of the word dignity is a difficult task when you live in fear of the authorities. In 2015, Karoto was accused of complicity when his brother escaped after being arrested in the forest. He says he was beaten up by the police in front of a park official.
La fanare tsara tsira fa vozaka ao fa tsy zatsy antegna moa le raika farany kolepaka antany aho Kulepaka nantany nanakany io. Na o amizay ao amizay kulepaka io vinangon-droza. Toy na mangon-droza toy. Ale, ao. Anao ni. Fe mavaka ny gapa ny foko iaby.
Fa Mikea moa sarotsy manao raty longo. Ndea ataon-dongo raty, sarotsy anao raty longo. Miamby amin-dranagnahary avao i Mikea. Ka lafa fandrakana ro maferegnainay hoe reo le ka tsy azo ataonareo hoene zao fa miferegnaigny Mikea.
Without access to the forest, the community depends on external aid to survive in the village. Thanks to the Mikea Forest Association and private donors, the school has 2 zebus and the family have acquired goats. Pierrot, a 58-year-old Swiss hotelier, has also supported them for many years.
Je suis venu mettre une cloche à mes zébus parce qu'ici, on nous vole les zébus. Quand ils seront dérangés la nuit, au moins, ça fera du bruit. Oui, c'est pour votre bien.
Pierrot, son of a lumberjack and lover of the forest, feels close to the Mikea. Their fight has become his. The community has received an unexpected visit. It's one of the officials of the Mikea Park, accused of having witnessed the beating of Karoto. Terrified, the men of the village have made themselves scarce.
Il n'y a pas quelque chose sur la conscience qui vous travaille?
Bon.
Il n'y a pas un acte de barbarie qui vous travaille quand vous voyez les Mikea là?
Non.
De pendre un Mikea par les pieds pour lui racketter de l'argent, je trouve ça lamentable, monsieur Parfait.
Non, peut-être demain qu'on va parler ensemble.
Non, pas demain. Maintenant, vous êtes là. C'est la première fois que je vous vois. Donc maintenant, je vous tiens par la main. Alors, j'aimerais juste une explication parce que ce Mikea a été traumatisé, il a été blessé.
Non, je ne vais pas vous répondre alors. Je ne vais pas vous répondre.
C'est votre choix.
C'est mon choix.
When we ask him the question, the official pleads not guilty.
Tsy neta zany saina zany aho, tsy présente am'zany aho. Fananiana leo la tabasé. Tsy voaresaka le action voalohany na talohan'izay. Fa tonga de tato ny raisina. Misy etapy io a. Raha tsy tabasé le olona, fananiana tabasé le izy.
He refused to give more details. To monitor this enormous forest, Mikea Park has only 2 4x4s, 19 employees, and an annual budget of less than €90,000. Hence the need to rely on communities. So why go after the Mikea? The official denies this.
Ary moto misy Mikea maro anatiny any. Mbola tsy voaroka mihitsy hatram'izao. Fa mbola tsy nisy MNP ny sakana ny Mikea amin'ny culture an'izareo sy ny mode de vie an'izareo. Fa contrôlena fotsiny. Sao de misy olona avy ivelany misy campagne an'izareo hanao développement. Izay ny contrôlena azy. Tamin'ny 2022 zahay 6 points feu seulement. Dikan'izay tsy continuer à brûler zany les forêts fa maîtriser les situations.
However, this is not what the Mikea see each year. So who are these communities accused of clearing land? In a neighbouring town, we meet Rambello and Bon Arthur, farmers from the Masikoro ethnic group. They claim they don't practice slash and burn farming, but clear land manually, which the majority of farmers do not do.
Manao dépense, magnarama ava, magnarama laboro. Rozy zany tsy manao an'izay rozy fa doroandrozy avao raha de mitselika eo avao lafa mitselika tomiry le katsaky lafa mipetraka am'izao avao rozy tsy miava satria tsy tomiry akaty. Fa raha eto tsy afaky manao an'izao raha fa tsy maintsy manao laboro, manao razety, manao ino, miava, la masaka raha vao zay vao mijano fa avanay.
Rambello thinks the illegal land clearers are Mikea who have turned to farming. In a neighbouring town, we meet one of them. Cesar is a cousin of Tsivaora. He left the community because forest life became unbearable for him.
Tegna raha izatsy alio moa la tianay miagnalagny fe i volagny zao aligny fa tsy misy raha hohany. Zay mampikisaky anay, mahatonga anay mikisaky mamonjy mamonjy misy olo tanà vonjenay fa mandeha gnay fa masare masarotsy fia iny anjaha tegna fa teraky koa anaky tsy mankany agnatiny 2 andro 3 andro tsy misy homa fa misy taminay tao tamony voalohany lafa misy zaza maty ketaheta zay lafa nalilo amin'igny ndao le fa vonjy rano le fa igny ataony hetaheta namono azy.
According to him, the forest was cleared long before he became a farmer, probably during the corn boom of the 1980s. It's difficult to point the finger at a village, a community, an era, since deforestation has been happening constantly.
Misy rahany hoe misy raha ambolegny mba amin'ny tanà reo misy vivira rao ka ambolega igny ro haniky mahavelo. Tsika le mba hanao an'izay koa le tsika fa masare mare. Tsy misy raha hohany atsika. Zao zay. Farany natao raha retiko lafa navintsanay raha reo, itoy ro gny le fa avelo antsika toy. Lafa namboly amin'io zahay lafa nengante te maiketo fa monto raha eo. Izay namboly any tonga n'olo be taloha reto nazo namboly any mba minalegny.
Faced with the depletion of resources, the Mikea have all been forced to diversify. Farming for some, goat breeding and seaweed cultivation for others. But this has not been enough to lift them out of poverty.
Misy andro raiky, misy andro roa la tsy misy tsy homa, tsy miketriky, eo avao. I loakandro koa mifao programme igny koa igny ro zay vokele miketriky koa vo nakahomaoma koa gny zaza.
Back in the forest. Today, something has changed in the atmosphere. Spirits seem high, free from the heaviness of the village. On certain occasions, the community spends a few nights here to recharge their batteries, a moment when time stops and the joy is palpable.
Tsy misy raha ampitovizinay analan'ny Mikea. Na ino tsy misy raha ampitovizinay aminy. Lafa zaho agnala, ny fahatsapako vatako, manaka ino ma le zay hoe fa tsy hitako ma fifaliana hitovy agnaminy. Sa hoe mahita paradisa zao aho, mahita andranagnary agnabo agny lafa miroro agnala. Tsy misy magnelekeleky tsy misy raha mampavaka ahy ndaray. Zao gny ataoko ananiky io. Tsy misy tragno hoe tofa miroro avao, tsy raha mieritseritsy mavaka aho. Haiko fa ho arovany kokoko rohondra miroro eto kokonala.
Satiated, the women, children and elders can finally express who they are without restraint. Absent from major international conferences and deprived of aid intended for indigenous populations, how many more years will they be able to live in this fragile balance? Will Emmanuel and Sivaora's commitment be enough to save their culture? Madagascar loses 210,000 hectares of forested area each year, the equivalent of 300,000 stadiums. At this rate, the Great Red Island could see the last guardians of its forest disappear, and with them, a centerpiece of its history.